What? From 0 to 24.
Yeah. What is
yes.
that measuring?
This is the size of the movie in frames.
Okay.
So I have a 0 frame here and a 24 frame here. So my movie, my project here, my scene, it's working with 24 FPS, 24 frames per second. So
frames per second, okay.
So I have 10 seconds of animation here.
Okay.
If I want more, for example, if I want, let me see, 20 seconds of animation, I change it for 480. Okay. So I have the size of my movie in frames. I can change it for seconds too. If I go here to view, show seconds. Now I'm working with seconds. Okay.
That might be easier for people to understand.
Yes.
Because that's more of a video timeline. Like it. By the way, when you were zooming, when you had the screen full, when you first opened the program and you were showing us examples of different projects, I could see that there was a timeline that had keyframes, and then on the far left, there was a timeline that had each portion of the media, like each type of media you had added to the timeline, right?
Yes.
So it has its own timeline with tracks and layering, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
For example, here we have a timeline. This timeline here is just for dragging. Okay, it's just a rule for dragging.
It's called scrubbing, but yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
When we start animating this object here, I'm going to open a module that we call the dop sheet animation, and that's where we see the keyframes. Okay, and we can change timing and bezier for easy in, easy out.
Basically, keyframes are for when certain things happen at that point in the timeline. So you can set an animation to happen between two keyframes, correct?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
So we are going to experiment this right now. For example, I'm going back to the frame 0 frame. Okay. I'm going to press the record button over here at the bottom of the screen and the automatic keyframe insertion. So now any change I made will create a keyframe. So it's very dangerous, okay, to press this button here. So I press it. Okay. Now with the object selected, I'm going to move it outside of the camera. Okay. Blender automatically created a keyframe. Here over this screen, we only see a vertical yellow line.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to show the keyframes for changing a little bit later.
Sure.
Now, over the 2-second position, I'm going to move the object outside of the screen. Okay. Now, if I scrub here, I will see the animation.
You can see the animation, yeah. So you're basically setting up 2 points of animation. So you set one keyframe, create the animation. Once you stop, it automatically creates an endpoint for that animation, which is an end keyframe, correct?
That's it. That's
okay, cool.
The great thing about Blender is that almost everything works in real time. That's amazing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that is. That's just like a video editing program, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool.
So,
Cream and I'll figure this out, no problem.
Yeah. So, if I want to see the dop sheet, what I do? Blender is all modular. What it means? We can work with many modules open. We can resize the screens, the tabs. Okay. So I'm going to move this working area a little bit to the top. Okay. To zoom out, I just roll the middle button mouse wheel.
Do you want to explain to everybody what you just opened up at the bottom? That's called the timeline, right? when
Yes,
you're opening up, like when you're making that bottom portion bigger, that's your timeline where all your media goes. So
yes,
basically, when you're adding media to a project, you're going to have layers, and adding media is like different images or sound effects or music that you want in the finished product, right?
that's it. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I
Sorry,
move
Ricardo. Go
here.
ahead.
No, no problem. I just move the screen here, and over this vertical division, I stop the cursor. Okay. I press the right button, and I have an option that is split area. So pressing now the left button, I split the area, I adjust the size, and I change the module here. We have two timelines. I don't want this, so I change the top one to dope sheet. If you take a look very fast here, we are going to see that we have many modules. We can create game with logic editors. We can work with composition with the node editor. But now we are just going to use the dope sheets. So now I see, I'm going to adjust here, and I see the keyframes.
The keyframes, yeah.
Okay. So, and those keyframes can be for each kind of control. For example, here I have, if I press this little arrow here,
Those are drop-down menus, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
We have keyframes for just for X rotation, Z rotation, X scale. We can manipulate any kind of property here. Okay. For example, I want to delete, for example, the rotation. I just go here with Shift key. I select those keyframes. Okay, with the rotation. And I press delete, and I delete it. If I want to delete, I can press, for example, the B key on keyboard. I select an area. For example, I will press now B, and we have those dot lines here. I can select all keyframes at the same time that I want to delete. For example, press delete. Now I have keyframes only with the position, the location of the object. So I'm going to move the screen again. I have one keyframe at frame number 0, and I have a second keyframe on frame 48. Okay, I can change the time of my animation. If I select a keyframe with the right button and press the G key for dragging, I can drag it to any time that I want, so I can change the timing of animation. Okay, so I'm going to move it for 1 second, and now I have it moving from 1 second. If I want to refine my animation, what can I do here? Now I'm going to get you crazy. Okay, I'm going to split my screen again over here. For example, it could be anywhere. I'm going to use it here, there, here, to any modules, to all modules be on horizontal. I split it again, and over this module I'm going to graph editor. So now I have the dope sheet for keyframes, and here with the curves I can change, for example, the acceleration of the object. If I select, remember, all the shortcuts and all the mouse operations works the same for any kind of object, including these handles here. Now I'm going to grab the node, and I'm going to change the acceleration of the object. So let's see it. Okay, we have an easy in and a fast out. Take a look again. Okay, I'm going to use the right button to select this node again, this handle, and I'm going to change the curve. Take a look. Now let's see how it's going to work. So manipulating the curves we can have, I'm pressing Ctrl Z to the start position. We can have many effects for animation, from easing in, easing out. I can manipulate any nodes, okay? So I was at the second keyframe, now I'm on the first keyframe. Any of these nodes are keyframes, okay? I'm going to select this handle here. I will press grab G. Now I have another kind of acceleration. Ctrl Z to the start position. So that's very important because we can refine our animation with this. Okay, to manipulate those screens, that's the same. I'm just pressing the middle button mouse and moving the mouse, and I can move it to see it better. Okay, so I have here the viewport, I have at the bottom the timeline, the scrub timeline, I have the dope sheet open for manipulating the timing of animation. We could use it over the curves too. For example, I select with all of those keyframes and I can grab it. So we are going to see it moving over the dope sheets too. Okay, so we can use one or another. Okay, I prefer to work with those two modules open because with the first one it's easier for me to retime in animation, and the second one for refining it. Okay, so that's not all that I want. I want to give this object some kind of life. That's the difference that I was telling you before. Moving it's not giving life. I'm just moving it. It's like PowerPoint. Okay. Now I want to give it a little bit life, a little life to it. So how can I do this? I can use bones, but it's not going to be very enjoyable to do it today because we are starting to use Blender. Okay. Now I prefer to show you how to use only the object for stretching it or squashing, okay, to give it a little life. So in the first keyframe, I'm going to, let me push the screen here. I'm going to use the S, okay, to resize it only over the X axis. And over here, I want it a little bit stretched, S, X, because it's passing, okay? And at the end of the movement, I want it back at the rest position. How can we bring back any object to the start position using a shortcut? I just press Alt key and the transformation that you have done. For example, in this case was scale, so Alt S. Oh, sorry. In this case, I'm going to bring it to the start position. Really, I'm going to change it manually here, only at the X position. I can open this. Do you see a button here with a plus? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. If I press it, I can see the location, rotation, and scale of the object. I just need here for the start proportion, change the X to the same values of the Y and Z. So I'm going to copy here and then go to Ctrl V here. So it's not stretched anymore. So now I have three deformations here. I have at the first keyframe the object stretched to a smaller size, at the middle of the process of the movement. I have it stretched to be a little bit more large, and at the end of the movements, I have it at the start distortion. So let's play it. Okay, so bringing things to life, it's not so difficult. We just need to give to the users, to give to the viewers the idea that that thing is not how can I say this, a cold object, a dead object. Okay, for this to happen, we just need to use those principles, those animation principles that I was talking at the beginning of this tutorial. Okay, so now I have this effect here. Okay, so now we have a little more life here. Okay, just using the stretch technique.
Hey Ricardo, we're gonna have to wrap it up in about 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
And you can come back for part 2 next week, and we'll keep talking about Blender.
That's it.
Cool.
Now, to finish, I just yes, you can ask me anything. I think that today we have seen
covered a lot today. Yes.
Yes, many things.
And it'll all be uploaded onto our YouTube channel by Thursday at the latest.
Okay.
So everybody can go and watch all the parts and this whole tutorial again. So
okay,
go ahead, Ricardo. Yep. Anybody have questions for Ricardo?
Do you have more of this stuff on Ninja Tux tutorials? I saw a bunch of them. Or are there some in English?
Yes, the last tutorial that I could write and record, it's in Portuguese, but it was subtitled in English. It's a 45 minutes tutorial. It's all about motion graphics. So all of those techniques you are going to see there, using modifiers for creating particles and solidify objects. So it's a nice tutorial. It's a 45, if I remember well, tutorial, 45 minutes tutorial. So you have many techniques over it. A friend of mine told me that the next one should be only in English because I have more English viewers than Portuguese ones. So next time, the next one will be only in English because I don't have much time right now, but I'm finishing a new one. Okay, but search for motion graphics tutorial on inside of Ninja Tux, and then you find this tutorial. It's 45-minute tutorial. Okay, it's a nice one. It's only using Blender, so we're going to learn a lot, I think. So guys, that's it for today. I don't want to fool your minds with many things. I think that we have a starting position here, starting learning, situation, so you can practice it.
This is good. Yeah.
Yes, and that's it.
Cool. Well, we'll come back next week and bring you back so you can talk about Blender again. I think this is something that you should go through like 3 or 4 times, because there's a lot to this program. So
yes, a lot.
Yeah, especially figuring out, even just playing with it without anything, just navigating and learning the shortcuts, I think is going to take a while, as opposed to just getting objects in there and then creating objects is a whole nother thing. So
yes,
a lifetime of study just to actually master Blender, which is great to learn and to have an audience get this up on YouTube.
Yep.
Cool. That's it. Yes. Okay, guys. I think that
Adam,
we have what?
Can you save this somewhere near where it was, so we can just start right off, or?
I could not understand the audio.
Once it's uploaded on YouTube, Carl, you'll know exactly where we finished. He's
Oh,
just gonna
okay.
continue. He's talking about continuing on from where you ended today.
Oh, I just thought
Okay.
you need to put it into a folder or something saved where you already.
Yeah, he wants you to save the project you're working on and to continue on next time.
Okay, I can do this. No problem. I can save it.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. And I can send you to the. I can save a zip file and send you for studying it. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. You've been very
No
great.
problem. Okay, thanks. I'm going to saving it right now.
Oh, and happy birthday, Carl. Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy
Sorry.
birthday.
Mine was Sunday.
Oh well, you didn't tell us,
Okay.
Dan.
I got
I
Very
didn't get a
nice.
notification.
I didn't get a
78
notification.
right now.
We gotta quit relying on Facebook for birthday notifications. Ridiculous.
I got about 79 birthday wishes today, so I've done rather well on Facebook and about 15 on Skype.
Oh yeah. Skype didn't notify me either, so sorry.
Thanks, people. Been great.
Okay, guys.
Real. Thanks for the birthday song there, Kareem and Dan, and they gave me a birthday song earlier, Chris. I don't know if you caught that, but thank you very
I
much.
was using the washroom before I came on. All right,
okay,
if
yes.
nobody has any questions for Ricardo, does anybody have any questions?
Okay.
No, I'm actually gonna pull out because I have Blender installed and start playing with it, and
Yes.
I haven't put it on my
see
computer
what I
yet,
can see if I can pull up some images and just play with them. So
so- Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank Mr. Ricardo Graça or Garza. That's how you say it, right?
Graça. Yes.
Graça, yeah, for coming back, and he'll be back next week for a continuation with Blender, because obviously, as you can see, you can't cover everything in 1 hour.
Okay,
So
no
I
problem.
want to thank you for being here, Ricardo, and thank everybody for being here, and we will see you guys next week.
Okay, that's it. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. I think.
all right, let's end this.